Tonight, addressing racial disparities, what the city of Superior is doing to address systemic racism at the local level.
Plus, riots following the death of George Floyd sparked flames across the Twin Cities, resulting in millions of dollars in damages. Now, 3 suspects are in custody.
And helping hospitals struggling in the midst of the pandemic. Some Wisconsin hospitals are receiving financial help.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Superior Mayor Jim Payne is hoping the city won't just talk about change, but act on it.
Tonight, he called a special meeting to discuss future plans for reaching racial justice in the city. CBS 3's Ryan Campo has more from today's meeting.
Kristen and Tony, good evening to you both. The Mayor's Commission on Communities of Color meeting is happening right now inside the City Council chambers. They're reviewing the work already been done when it comes to racial justice and police force policies, and as well as suggestions for the future. Mayor Payne tells me they've been looking forward to this meeting and planning topics to discuss for 2 weeks now. While the city is advised to not attend this meeting tonight due to the pandemic, it is being streamed online. Payne says he has received hundreds of emails and comments from the public, making sure that their voices are heard, because at the end of the day, Payne says that's what matters most.
Well, we need to make sure that the policies that we pass represent the public, and real democracy means the public is involved. And that was the point of the Mayor's Commission on Communities of Color, to make sure that other voices were brought into the policymaking process and not just those small number of us that are elected.
There's a link to the live stream on the city's website. Now we'll have much more from the meeting ongoing tonight at 10, but for now I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and other top Democrats in the state laid out their priorities for the special session, which starts tomorrow. Walz says they are a coordinated and powerful set of reforms. They include ideas like banning chokeholds and warrior-style training and reforming licensing requirements. It would also centralize data about each officer, like use of force incidents, to increase transparency. Walz says these reforms have been thought out, implemented in other places, and have been shown to work.
Minnesota will change the way we do policing. Minnesota will change what accountability looks like, and Minnesota will start to lift up those voices that for too long have felt they haven't been heard. And we need to do it at the legislature.
Democrats are calling on their Republican colleagues to pass similar legislation. New at 6, the Duluth Police Union said conversations about defunding or disbanding police departments are concerning. In a statement, union reps say they want the most highly qualified officer to be recruited and retained. But they added that slashing budgets and reducing collective bargaining rights won't help with that, since their job is already difficult with limited resources. Union reps say they look forward to working with the city on what they called common sense, reasonable approaches to public safety.
Let's take a quick look at the weather. Dave, cool around much of the region today, huh?
Yeah, as our low-pressure systems leave and take the rain chances with them, cooler air is filtering in. We're in the netherworld right now, in between the lows and the highs, so there's still a chance for some showers tonight. And in the last half hour, we got some down here in Canal Park. Could get some more till about midnight tonight. And like Tony mentioned, the temperatures, high-wise, today, nothing like they were on Monday when a lot of Wisconsin towns crossed 90. Today we had 60s and 70s at best, and it looks like Superior was our warm spot with a high of 73 degrees. Taking a look at the upper Midwest situation here, yeah, there's the low pressure system from yesterday that brought more rain to some towns and less rain to others. Still has a shower chance till midnight in Minnesota and 1 a.m. for Wisconsin and the UP. Then that cooler high pressure cell from the northwest settles in to give us numbers like these. Out the door in the morning near 40. Not even quite 60 for a lunch break. Sunshine from the high pressure, yes, but a top temp of only 73, or 63 rather. We're supposed to be around 70. When will we get to 70 again? Maybe Monday, and perhaps warmer afterwards. And I'll show you the 7-day forecast to prove the point in a few more minutes.
At 6, charges are expected against at least one person after a historic statue was toppled in St. Paul Wednesday. Yesterday afternoon, a group of protesters pulled down this statue of Christopher Columbus outside the state capitol. The Minnesota State Patrol says while no one was arrested after the statue was pulled down, they have identified a, quote, instigator who will face charges related to destruction of public property. The case will eventually be turned over to the Ramsey County Attorney's Office. The protesters said Columbus was responsible for Native American genocide and it was time for the statue to go. State Patrol says the statue is currently in an undisclosed location in the interest of public safety. Meanwhile, an Iron Range lawmaker is apologizing for a tweet responding to that statue being toppled over. After a Twin Cities journalist tweeted a video of the incident, Senator David Tomassoni said the action was not acceptable and urged the protesters to, quote, pay reparations. It's the pay reparations portion of that tweet that prompted a social media firestorm. Reparations are the payments or other methods of making amends to the descendants of slavery. In a phone interview today, Tomassoni apologized for using the phrase, saying it was a bad choice of words. He added that he felt destroying property is not the way to get a point across.
The riots following the death of George Floyd caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. According to St. Paul Fire Department, 86 buildings burned over the course of just 3 days. So far, 3 people have been arrested for starting some of those fires. Aaron Hassanzadeh has the story.
Ignitable liquids were utilized in mostly all of these fires. These are traumatic events. I think our community has suffered.
After 72 hours of burning, looting, and destruction in St. Paul came investigation. 3 months worth of work in 3 days.
It's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming task. 48 hours after the major incidents in St. Paul had occurred, we had an ATF team on the ground, 30 to 40 individuals supporting our investigations here in St. Paul.
Help from the ATF and State Fire Marshal's office are helping. 3 have been arrested and charged in connection to St. Paul fires, and more persons of interest identified, but they're not done yet.
On the police side, we know that people have been victimized in this city, and we want to hear from them.
Surveillance images like these released from the ATF are solving these crimes. St. Paul police want people to submit online reports or video that may be helpful.
We will be able to take those, put them in the puzzle that they belong to, and hopefully solve crimes with the looting and things like that. Burglary would be a very common charge, and that'd be a felony.
Responding to nearly 600 calls for service in 3 days took its toll on the department. 3 firefighters were hurt.
I think it's going to take us a while, and it's going to take the community a while to recover.
But part of the department's recovery is knowing their work will produce results.
We will continually respond and work to preserve life, property, and again, investigate all the fires and ensure that those responsible are held accountable.
State leaders say it cost nearly $13 million to bring the Minnesota National Guard in to respond to the riots. Both Governor Tim Walz and Public Safety Commissioner John Harrington say they're not surprised by that number.
We'll see a share of $40 million in financial help. Governor Tony Evers announced the direct payments today. The money, which is from the Federal CARES Act, is to help hospitals reeling from lost revenue and expenses during the COVID-19 pandemic.
But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we know hospitals are stretched thin. This funding will help alleviate the financial strain felt by these hospitals and make it possible for them to continue their essential work.
Hospitals will get funding based on their percentage of both inpatient and outpatient Medicaid revenue. They can expect to start receiving the money next month.
After years of planning and construction to relocate the Sky Harbor Airport's runway, the project will finally wrap up tomorrow. Crews have been relocating the Park Point Airport's runway in order to spare old-growth forest, which started to become an issue when an aircraft was landing. But instead of cutting down the trees, crews added material in the harbor to relocate the runway out over the water. They're hoping the changes will bring more travelers to the Twin Ports.
It's not just the local community and the drive-in tourists that enjoy it, it's also the flying community that also gets to enjoy it. Not to mention it's a beautiful view from your airplane flying over and see that forest there.
The last phase of construction started about a month ago and is wrapping up tomorrow. Officials would not comment on the cost of the project.
A man is fighting for his life and a child was taken to the hospital after they hit a deer while riding a motorcycle this afternoon. It happened in central St. Louis County on Highway 135. Passengers were thrown from the motorcycle. The 52-year-old embarrassed man has life-threatening injuries, while the 5-year-old girl from Aurora was not seriously hurt. The man was not wearing his helmet. The 5-year-old girl was.
Police say a convicted sex offender will be living in the Ashland area. According to the Ashland Daily Press, Adam Smith will live near 13th Avenue West and Lakeshore Drive. The 32-year-old served a 10-year sentence for 3 counts of possessing child pornography. He will now spend 7 years on supervised release.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a critical daycare shortage. How a new child care center in Silver Bay hopes to address the ongoing problem.
Technically, Duluth was warmer than normal today. High temp 71, normal is 70. Well, maybe the last time that happens for a couple of days as the cool down comes our way. One parting shot at showers comes around tonight to boot, so we'll talk about all of that coming up right after this break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live, local, CBS 3 Duluth.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health licensed acupuncturist Jake Sweetie discusses how acupuncture aligns with integrative healthcare.
So acupuncture is a component of traditional East Asian medicine. That's a growing part of modern integrative healthcare that includes not just needling therapy, which acupuncture is, but also traditional herbalism and dietetics, physical manipulation similar to osteopathy, as well as body and breath-based exercises. In general, these needles are quite small. They're placed all over the body from head to toe, and they cause very little pain in general. They're typically placed at depths that are quite comfortable. We stimulate different nerves throughout the body in different areas that influence physiological activity, circulatory activity, neural activity, lymphatic activity, and hormonal activity as well.
While acupuncture is most commonly associated with pain management, there are a number of conditions that can benefit from the treatment.
We also use acupuncture for women's health issues, like menopausal issues and difficult or painful periods. We use it for cancer support, like treating nausea and malaise. And we also use it for treating anxiety, depression, and stress. One of the biggest confusions patients have when they receive their referral is they expect just needles to be used, when in fact we may be doing physical manipulations on the body. We may be talking about lifestyle changes that they need to make in order to help resolve or at least manage their conditions. What we're really trying to do is help people find balance and more ease in their lives. Anybody who's struggling with any sort of health issue, they should give us a call, schedule an appointment, and we can decide if that's something that may be helpful for them.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Here's a crust too thick and cheesy not to eat in reverse. Keep it coming, buddy. That's right. Back it up. The one and only original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. Just $11.99. No one outpizzas the Hut.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on Live, local CBS 3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial.
How about we begin today with a little bit of optimism? There's a big development on the testing front. What's the balance, do you think, Doctor, between hope and honesty for the public as we navigate this virus? What changes can we expect as consumers moving forward?
While we have to maintain social distance, you don't have to be emotionally distant from each other.
If you're one of those essential workers, we thank you, thank you, thank you. Knowledge and information are power. The more we know, the better off we are.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
As yesterday's low-pressure systems leave, there's still a 40% chance for rain around our region. Past couple of hours, it's paid off in a few towns. Optimist, 40% chance for rainbows, at least until sunset. This beautiful one over Canal Park here, captured by my angle, shows two different colors of the sky, the rainbow splitting the difference. Other angles I've been seeing on social media show it's a double rainbow. Wrong place, wrong time as usual. And Duluth and Superior were in the wrong place, wrong time yesterday for meaningful rain to knock down the fire danger. The showers tonight probably won't do the trick, and then once those pass, we may be on the dry side all the way through next Tuesday. That'll be our next chance of rain. Right now, we start the weather game here by eyeing up the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. It's 64 degrees. Relative humidity, 60%, so that's jumped up a bit here from the recent showers we did get here in the Twin Ports area. Just light stuff. Westerly, northwesterly winds going 13 miles per hour, so the wind's picking back up again, but in general should slack off finally after a couple of days worth of pretty decent gusts. Temperatures, well, they struggle to get to normal today. If normal is 70, right now it looks like we have that, +1 in Ashland, and up over the hill here in Duluth, perhaps it's hitting a couple of neighborhoods, but otherwise the rest of us are under the count here for a while, discounting Aiken at 70 straight up and Hinckley at 72. Normal temperature may be hard to come by here for a little while as cooler air comes to call. We'll be in the low to maybe mid-60s here from Friday through Saturday into Sunday. And then Monday, we start to hit 70 once again. Doppler map right now shows there are some isolated stray showers coming down from the tail end of those low pressure systems as they depart here. And we're seeing them in Minnesota and in northwestern Wisconsin. And a couple have been grazing the UP as well. 60% chance the UP and northern Wisconsin will get some of those till about, I'm thinking, 1 o'clock in the morning here tonight. And then Minnesotans get a 40% chance for the showers again, all from the back end of this low pressure system as it leaves our region. Coming in, and then at the same time will be higher pressure from Canada, which will clear us up, but also cool us down, probably through Sunday. Once we get into Monday, next low pressure system starts to advance towards us, warms us back up into the 70s, even 80s, and then that low itself brings our next rain chance, like I mentioned, come Tuesday. But it's not a fantastic chance. So we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast now, starting with the one for tonight in Minnesota, where you get that 40% shower chance. Lows as cool as upper 30s up north to maybe as warm as 45 by Lake Superior. Wisconsin, Michigan, low temps 42 to 43 degrees. Pick one. 50% chance you'll get it. 60% shower chance in that neck of the woods. Tomorrow, daytime high temps, Wisconsin, Michigan, 58 to 66 with sunshine from the high. And in Minnesota, 50s by the lake, 60s inland, mostly sunny sky from the high pressure cell. That will keep the clouds down all the way through Sunday. But then finally by Monday, the lower pressure breaks loose, brings us to 73, gets us towards 80 Tuesday into Wednesday. And Tuesday and Thursday are our next rain chances, Kristen and Anthony, but only 30 to 40% shots at that.
Thanks, Dave. Northern Minnesota is dealing with one of the most critical child care shortages in the state.
Silver Bay's William Kelly School is opening up a new child care facility called Little Mariners Child Care Center. Officials say there's a huge need right now, with only two other. Silver Bay's William Kelly School is opening up a new child care facility called Little Mariners Child Care Center. Officials say there's a huge need right now, with only two other daycares in the area and families looking for somewhere to go. The new facility will take over 4 rooms that were once used for special education. Renovations are currently being done, new flooring, walls, and fresh paint. In total, the space will hold 46 children, ages ranging from 6 weeks to 5 years old. The IRRB approved a grant of $225,000 for the daycare, which will be used for infrastructure improvements, sidewalks, landscaping, and a playground. Little Mariners Child Care Director says the money will be a big help.
That's huge, and I would love to bring you out there and show you that, because, yeah, that's big plans.
They're hoping to be up and running by the start of the school year.
All right, thanks, Leanne. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from a Silver Bay parent about why they say this new facility is so needed.
One Iron Range city is repurposing an old mine into a mountain biker's dream destination. After construction began last summer, the new 15-mile Redhead Mountain Biking Park opens tomorrow. You can access many of the trails from the Minnesota Discovery Center in Chisholm. From there, it zigzags the banks of the old mining pits. Some of the Midwest's most experienced trail architects lent a hand in the project. Chisholm City Councilor Adam Lance says it will make the city a mountain biking destination and will be great for the Iron Range economy.
The locals are excited. The people out of town are excited. You know, we have lots of visitors already planning to come for the soft opening June 12th. You know, it's going to be great for our local economy.
And tonight at 10, we talk to one of the architects that helped design the trails and what sets this area apart from the rest.
Coming up in sports, NHL training camps are set for return. Kelly Hinseth has the good news coming up next.
Get your new UTV from Duluth Lawn and Sports, the region's largest power sports dealer.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Slumberland's huge clearance event. Massive markdowns all over. Closeouts, floor samples, one-of-a-kind items. Plus, get totally free doorstep shipping. Hurry into our huge clearance event and save. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get the cheeseburger pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And when we first released Plexiderm, our mission was to help people reduce the appearance of their wrinkles and under eye bags in minutes with a simple serum. After 2 years of reading thousands of reviews, I realized Plexiderm changes people on the inside. It improves their lives dramatically.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera.
That was me a couple of years ago when I first tried Plexiderm. I think it just exuded this confidence. Really, there are no other options. Plexiderm is the only thing that works. It was life-changing. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm still using it.
The Plexiderm effect is more than shrinking under eye bags from view. It's more than getting rid of the appearance of crow's feet. It's more than saying goodbye to the look of those 11 lines between your eyes. The real effect of Plexiderm is self-confidence. It's going out to dinner or that special event feeling fantastic. It's knowing that you look and feel your best with your loved ones. So join us in 2020. Take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge and look in the mirror and say, wow, I feel great.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside.
Take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge and see real results. Guaranteed. Take action this July 4th and get up to 50% off the normal retail price. Plus, get free shipping. Visit Plexiderm.com or call the number on your screen.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Slumberland's huge mattress clearance event. Crazy markdowns on all kinds of mattresses, like a Sealy Queen mattress as low as $149. Plus, overstocks, closeouts, floor samples. Hurry to Slumberland's clearance mattress event. Don't miss out.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
And we have liftoff. The National Hockey League and the Players Association have agreed to start training camps on the 10th of July. This is the third phase of the NHL's plan to return to play and hopefully wrap up the 2019-2020 season. 24 teams are still in the running, and none have played since the season was stopped due to the concerns with the COVID-19 virus. Training camps have been delayed while medical and safety concerns have been worked out. The length of training camp and the date for formal resumption of play will be determined at a future date, but we have training camps. The last time I chatted with UMD alum Maddie Rooney, she said that coaching the game of hockey was definitely in her future. Sure enough, the Olympian will be coaching as well as playing this fall. Rooney will join the coaching staff for Centennial Girls High School hockey this upcoming fall. The Cougars unveiled their new coaching staff this week. Rooney will work alongside Hamlin alum Becca Zaremski and as well as the bench boss Sean Mullen. With the NHL season still on pause, Minnesota Wild defenseman and assistant captain Ryan Suter is back home in Madison, Wisconsin, where he's enjoying time with his family in what would be his off-season while getting ready for the playoffs as well. Suter grew up in Madison and lives there with his wife and son. He said it's a bit of a weird mindset that you have to be in as a player right now, since all the rinks and facilities are closed in Minnesota. Suter gets on the ice when he can with his son, just playing the waiting game and spending time with his family.
Just being dad, being around the kids, and it's normally our off season now, so the mindset, it's hard to get into that summer mode when you still might have a chance of going to play. So it's just a fine line you got to walk. You can't be too into summer mode, and you can't be too all into getting into shape, because it's still a ways out. If it would happen, it probably wouldn't be till end of July.
Well, yesterday, Major League Soccer announced their return to play in the form of the MLS is Back tournament. The tournament includes 54 matches with 26 teams, 6 groups, and 1 champion. Minnesota United now has their fate. The Loons will play in Group D with 3 other teams: Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City, and Colorado Rapids. Their tournament schedule, including specific matchup dates and full broadcast details, will be announced at a later date. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics organizers have announced that the rescheduled games won't look like they were planned to. They will be simplified next year. The games were originally scheduled to start next month. They were postponed for a year in March by the International Olympic Committee and the Japanese government due to the COVID-19 pandemic. At a news conference yesterday, Tokyo organizers said the Olympics will not be done with a grand splendor, but they did provide specifics on modified events, a timetable for the budget. Since the postponement was announced, organizers have been looking at ways to reduce costs and streamline the games. Hey, sports and the Olympics are sports. That's going to do it for Sports at 6. We'll have more here back tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, later tonight, the Minnesota Board of Pardons is considering a posthumous pardon for Max Mason, the man wrongly convicted of raping the woman whose claims led to the 1920 lynching of 3 African-American men in downtown Duluth. The decision could come tomorrow. Tonight at 10, we'll take a look at the case and tell you why the pardon is being considered. Before we go, here's something you don't see every day unless maybe you live in Florida.
Yeah, a family discovered an alligator, of all things, in their pool this week. Here he is, just enjoying a leisurely swim as family members recorded this video. The family says they're happy they found it before their small dog had a run-in with the reptile. The gator did eventually get out of the pool on its own, and the family was able to help it to a nearby pond. That's why I live in the Midwest. I don't want to run into a gator in the backyard.
All right, Dave, let's get a quick check of the weather here.
All right, cool down's coming our way. We started the week near 90 for some towns, and now we end the week near 60 for others. Cooler high pressure coming to call. That's going to send our temperature high-wise down to 63 tomorrow, then 62 Saturday, 68 on Sunday. Finally, by Monday, we do start to warm up a bit as the cooler air goes away and warmer air comes to call. That means by Wednesday, we could be back towards 80 again. Folks who still need some rain, and not everybody got a soaker yesterday. Next rain chance after a few showers tonight may come around Tuesday or Thursday.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.